Hey there, friends. Thank you so much for joining us on ABC24 Plus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Birchett with an update on your forecast and the weather for the next few days in Memphis and across the Mid-South. And we do have some pretty big changes that we need to talk about. Weather's been pretty nice here lately. We did have a dip in the temperature this weekend, but the last few days in the middle of the week have been pretty nice. We've enjoyed sunshine, mid-70s for highs, almost a little bit of return of a spring feeling, but fall and even a little bit of winter are going to be making a comeback to the Mid-South sooner rather than later. Let's get right to it and talk about that next weather impact. And for right now, the impact is that we are going to be sunny and warm. Not a huge deal here for the next couple of days, but we are going to be seeing things change. Like I mentioned, for now, warmer this week, plenty of sunshine. There is a chance of a shower or two Friday. We'll time that out and talk about it. But the biggest impact and the biggest story ahead is going to be the big time cold front that is coming in through the weekend and into early next week. Let's kind of give you a broad overview here. We'll talk about what's going on. We've been pretty nice here lately because of high pressure. High pressure is our good weather maker. So anytime high pressure is nearby, we color it blue. Just expect blue sky. That's all you need to know. That blue H is good news for our weather. It keeps us sunny. In most cases, it keeps us warm. Since that high pressure zone is off to our east, we're kicking up a wind out of the south, and that is, again, keeping things pretty warm here over the last couple of days. Now, that is going to start to slide away, and that is kind of where things will change a little bit. We have a couple of cold fronts coming in. The first one gets here on Friday. Now, that is going to bring in a chance of some showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two Friday. But I don't expect a lot of rain. Most of us actually will be totally dry on Friday. But some spots, a couple of us, could see a quick shower. We're going to talk more about that in detail here in just a little bit. But the bigger story coming up is this next cold front. This one comes in during the weekend, and that brings in a much colder air mass by early next week. I want to start out with the rain chances, though, because I know Friday's a big day. We've got the Tigers game again, and Friday Night Football, high school football playoffs are starting this week on Friday. So I want to talk about that. Notice the rain chances are pretty low, 30%. So I don't think most of us will see a lot of rain on Friday, but there will be a few showers around. Let's time it out hour by hour, a little closer to home. So this is starting off Friday morning at 6 a.m. You see the time here up in the top of the screen. I think most of Friday's dry. It's going to be later in the afternoon. We see a few showers start to develop. So here's Friday at 2 p.m. Notice a little bit of light rain starting to pop up in eastern Arkansas. And then that gets a little bit closer to us Friday evening. There's 5 p.m. That's when we get a little bit of a better chance of a few more rain showers here in the Memphis metro area. Again, only a 30% chance, though. So odds of seeing significant rain are pretty slim. But there is going to be a chance Friday afternoon, Friday evening for a few quick passing rain showers. Some of us might not see a drop of rain Friday, but there's at least the chance for some of us to see a quick shower Friday evening by 5 or 6 p.m. By the time the sun really starts to set, those rain chances slide off to the east. And notice we even have some thunderstorms over in Middle Tennessee. So that's really going to be the main focus of rain on Friday is over in the Middle Tennessee area toward Nashville. For us in Memphis and the Mid-South, a few quick showers possible, but I think most of us are actually pretty dry on Friday, and then certainly dry as we roll into Saturday morning and the rest of the weekend. That's when that really cold air is going to start to develop. I wanted to show you this just because it is floating around out there. The National Weather Service has put out a risk of some severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center over in Middle Tennessee especially, that's where we have a level 2 out of 5 risk. Now, the biggest concern for storms is going to be over toward Nashville. I showed you on that radar a little bit ago that we start out with some light rain showers and then those storms kind of flare up toward Nashville. That's why that severe weather risk is over there. Now, they did clip part of our area in the risk. I think it's a little bit too far west right now. I think the biggest threat of any severe storms is over in Middle Tennessee. But I guess just as a precaution, they did include part of our area in a very, very low risk. But I think really any storms are going to be east of here. And I wouldn't be surprised if that risk slides a little more east with it. I don't see a major severe weather concern here in Memphis. Again, most of us won't even see rain on Friday, but there could be a couple of thunderstorms that are a little bit stronger, especially over in West Tennessee, because they are going to increase in strength as they go further and further east. Now, again, rain totals, barely anything. That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of rain expected here with this system. Most of us will not see any rain at all Friday, but I want you to be aware just of the possibility around dinner time Friday, there could be a few light rain showers, and then the rest of the weekend looks dry. Look at these high temperatures. I told you that big cold front's coming. Our average high is 67, so we're actually above that for the next few days, mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's the day we really feel that blast of colder air. High of 52 on Sunday, high temperature only 46 on Monday. We'll stay in the 50s on Tuesday. So a nice little cold spell coming in Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Again, highs only in the 40s on Monday. It does look like temperatures climb pretty nicely by the middle of the week. We'll be back to the 60s. By the way, for Memphis, first freeze on average, November 12th, so we're not too far off from that. I do think we're going to be pretty close to seeing our first freeze of the season in Memphis here with this cold snap. It is going to be colder in the outlying areas, so if you're outside of Memphis, you're almost guaranteed to see your first freeze. It's going to be just a little bit warmer in the city, though. These are your low temperatures Monday morning, so Sunday night going into Monday morning, likely a hard freeze for most of the Mid-South. 29 the low in Dyersburg and Covington, 28 Bolivar, Corinth, and Holly Springs. Most of us actually get to the 20s, nearly everybody below freezing. But if you're in the city, we might be just above freezing for our low temperature. All that concrete in the city holds more heat, so it actually makes cities a little bit warmer. We call that the heat island effect, the urban heat island effect. So cities are typically a little bit warmer than the rural areas, so that might help Memphis stay just above freezing a late Sunday night and early Monday morning. But for nearly everybody else in the Mid-South, we are going to see our first freeze of the season Sunday night and Monday morning. Wind chills, very cold as we're back to work and school Monday morning. 27 the wind chill in Memphis, 21 is what it's going to feel like in Dyersburg. So again, this is likely our first freeze Sunday night and Monday morning. Now's a great time to just go ahead and prepare. You want to make sure you're going ahead and disconnecting those outdoor hoses and covering your faucets with those little styrofoam covers outside. Now's also a great time to test your heating system, replace any of those filters that you need to do, because it's just getting colder from here. This is the first freeze. It will not be the last. Also in your car, double check your antifreeze and inspect your tires. Again, it is going to be pretty chilly here next week. An update on fall foliage. We're getting close to the peak of fall foliage, believe it or not, even though it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like things have changed all that much when you look outside, just because, we didn't have too much of a good year for fall color. Now, typically, fall foliage peaks in Memphis around the second or third week of November. So we have a little more time for some fall color to come in, but I wouldn't expect much. We've been talking about that drought that we were in earlier in the fall, September and October. It was also very hot around that time. And that is a recipe for just some bad fall foliage. We want cool nights, rainy weather to help get those leaves bright and vibrant and beautiful. So with the drought we were in and the hot weather earlier in fall, I would not expect the leaves to look all that pretty this year. They're probably just going to brown up and fall off. Again, in the next couple of weeks, that's when we really hit our peak. So yeah, we might get some decent fall color, but I just don't expect it to be the best year for bright fall color out there. Checking out the 7-day forecast, another great day on Thursday. Sunshine up to 74 degrees for the high temperature. We get to 74 again on Friday, and again, most of Friday is dry. I wouldn't cancel any plans on Friday. We will see some more clouds roll in, and yes, there is the chance of a shower for somebody around dinner time on Friday. If you do see some rain, it's going to be pretty light. It's going to be pretty quick. I don't think it's a big deal, but there could be a little bit of rain Friday evening into Friday night. Again, it would be very isolated. Could wake up to some fog Saturday morning. I think some spots could actually see some pretty bad fog. So an early heads up there for you. Saturday morning, a little foggy. Sunshine Saturday afternoon, and we get up to 74 again. But that second cold front hits Saturday night. And that's when we start to feel the difference. Low temperature all the way down to 46 by by Sunday morning. High temperature only 52 Sunday afternoon. And then we get to near freezing Sunday night and Monday morning. 33 in Memphis, a lot of spots in the 20s. We'll be sunny on Monday, but very cold. 46 degrees Monday afternoon. That is your high temperature. By the way, our average low is 46 for this time of year. So a high temperature of 46 is well below the normal for this time of year. And then we do see temperatures slowly climb by the middle of the week. 55 with sunshine on Tuesday, still a little chilly, but we'll get back to the 60s by the middle of next week. So again, kind of two impacts for tracking. Yeah, a slight chance of a little bit of rain Friday evening, 5, 6, 7 p.m. There could be some quick isolated showers. Most of us are dry on Friday, though. The bigger story, the big cool down, likely our first freeze of the season, Sunday night and Monday morning. So plan ahead for that. Of course, we'll keep you updated right here on ABC24 on air and also on our ABC24 Plus app for Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We'll keep you updated there, and I'll be back tomorrow with another update. But for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Birchett. Thanks for checking in with us.